Ayar, Dawada, Abu Yawad, William Malak, Akaz, Anwa, the Kapua. This is 2 Kings chapter 16, verse 1. Shana, Shabai, Aishara, Shana, the Bakwa, Gun, Mo Yahweh, Malak, Akaz, Bun, Yoatham, Malak, Yahweh, verse 2. Bun, Aisharim, Shana, Akaz, Malakawa, Rashad, Aishara, Shana, Malak, Vayarashalam, Vayarashalam, say it all the time. Vayarashalam, Aisha, Hayashar, Vayanya, Yahweh, Alahayawa, Kadawada, Abiyawa, the 3, Wayalaka, Vadabaraka, Malakaya, Yasha'ala, Wagum, Banwa, Ha'aybayar, Ba'ash, Kata Aybar, Kata Aydo, Kata Aybawa, Hagawayam, Ashar, a warrior, Hagarayash, Yahweh, Atham, Mapanya, Wanya, Yasha'ala, these 4, Wayizabak, Wayakotar, Babamawad, Wa'al, Hagaba Aywa, with a ka, called, Aitazah, Ra'ayna, Azab, Ya'ayla, Ratazayan, Malak, Aram, Upakwak, Bun, Ramala Yahweh, Malak, Yasha'ala, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Ramala Kama, Wayatazarwa, Al, Akaz, Wala, Yakawa, Lahala come, and that's it.
Verse 5, right? Come. All right, we're going to be reading 2 Kings chapter 15, and we're going to be reading verses 37 through 8, and then we're going to go jump to 16, 1 through 5. 2 Kings chapter 15, verse 37. In those days, the Most High began to send against Judah, Rezin, the king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, verse 38. And Jotham slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David, his father, and Ahaz, his son, reigned in his stead. 2 Kings chapter 16, verse 1. In the 7th year of Pekah, the son of Remaliah, Ahaz, the son of Jotham, king of Judah, began to reign. Verse 2, 20 years old was Ahaz when he began to reign, and reigned 6 years in Jerusalem, and did not that which was right in the sight of the Most High his power, like David his father. Also, I want to point out something real quick, too. Here's another king that a righteous king will do. That one, and this is how you know a righteous king will is there. One of the things the righteous king will do is he will tear down all the high places. But another thing that a righteous king will do when he comes along is he usually always renews the covenant. You know, because Israel was always so off track. They always renewed, so they always brought Israel before them, and they always read the blessings and the cursings, and Israel had to agree once again to the covenant. It's like we're doing that contract. So you'll always notice that when a righteous king comes, he'll tear down all the high places. Like I said, some righteous kings would show up. They would be following the Most High, but the people were still sacrificing. So it's like they did what was right and for themselves, but the people were still sinning. You know, there's like I said, they were still sacrificing. But when a real righteous king comes along, the high places are torn down, and then the covenant is renewed. They bring all the people together, they read the covenant, they read the law, and the people, and then they will read the blessings and the cursings, and the people have to agree. You know, just like they agreed on the mount with Moses. They said everything the Most High says, we will do. See, anciently, orally, that's how you agree to a contract. You said it. That's why, that's where we get my word is bond from. That's why you shouldn't just say anything. That's why Yahweh said, like, yes. The bad thing nowadays, people say anything, especially the heathen, and just, it don't mean nothing. But back then, what you said, that's what it was. That was like your signature. All right? Verse 3. But he walked in the ways of the kings of Israel, yea, and made his son to pass through the fire, according to the abominations of the heathen, whom the Most High cast out from before the children of Israel. Verse 4. And he sacrificed and burned incense in the high places, and on the hills, and under every green tree. Verse 5. Then Rezin, king of Syria, and Pekah, the son of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to war, and they besieged Ahaz, but could not overcome him. And that's it.
Now we're going to be reading 2 Kings chapter 16, verse 6 through 12 in the Hebrew.
2 Kings chapter 16, verse 6. Ba'aith, Hahaya'ah, Hashayah, Retazayan, Malak, Arum, Ayallah, La'arum, Yanashol, Haya Howard. Haya Howard the Young. Ma Yalawa. Ma Rumyan. Ma Awa. Ma Yala. Yashaba. Shum. Hayawam. Hazar. Verse 7. Yashalak. Makaz. Mala'akayim. Al. Begalah. Balasar. Malak. Ashawar. La'amar. Ibadka. Wabanka. Anya. Ilah. Wahawasha Anya. Malak. Aram. Malak. Yasha'ala. Aquamyam. Alia. Verse 8. Yaquak. Akaz. Akasa. Wa'ah. Hazahab. And them Taza'ah. And them Taza'ah. Bayah. Yahweh. Waba Atazaria. Waba Atazarwa. Bayah. Amalak. Yashalak. Amalakah. Ashawar. Shekad. Verse 9. Yashamai. Alua. Malak. Ashawar. Al. Malak. Ashawar. Al. Kamashak. Pasha. Wayagala. Wayara. Wa'ah. Retazayan. Amaya. Verse 10. Wayalaka. Amalak. Akaz. Akura'ah. Begala. Fula Asar. Malak. Ashawar. The woman shock. Wayara'ah. Hamazabak. Ashar. The shock. Wayashalak. Hamalak. Akaz. A warrior. Akahan. Kamawa. Hamazabak. Wa'ah. The bunya. The bunyakwa. Lakol. Ma'aya Howard. Ma'aisha Howard. Verse 11. Wayabun. warrior, Akahan, Hamazakah, Hamazabak, Kakal, Ashar, Shalak, Hamalak, Akaz, Madamashak, Khan, Aisha, I warrior, Akahan, I, Ova'ah, Hamalak, Akaz, Madamashak, verse 12, Oyaba'ah, Hamalak, Madamashak, Wayara'ah, Hamalak, Hamazabak, Wayaparab, Hamalak, Hamazabak, Waya'al, Aluwa. That's it.
Now we're going to be reading 2 Kings chapter 16, verse 6 through 12 in the English.
2 Kings chapter 16, verse 6. At that time, Rezin, the king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria and drove the Jews from Elath. And the Syrians came to Elath and dwelt there unto this day. Verse 7. So Ahaz sent message to King Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am thy servant and thy son. Come up and save me out of the hand of king of Syria and out of the hand of the king of Israel, which rise up against me. And Ahaz took the silver and gold that was found in the house of the Most High and the treasure of the king's house and sent it for a present to the king of Assyria. Verse 9. And the king of Assyria hearkened unto him, for the king of Assyria went up against Damascus and took it and carried the people off a captive to Kir and slew Rezin. Verse 10. And the king of Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and saw an altar that was at Damascus. And King Ahaz sent Uriah, the priest, of the fashion of the altar and the pattern of it, according to all the workmanship thereof. And Uriah, the priest, built an altar according to all that King Ahaz had sent from Damascus. So Uriah, the priest, made it against King Ahaz, came from Damascus. Verse 12. And when the king was come from Damascus, the king saw the altar, and the king approached to the altar and offered it thereon. And that's it. Another thing I wanted to add to, when an unrighteous king would come along, this is another thing that would happen. The priests, the priesthood, the priests, they would stop teaching because they had to go to work. They had to go do other stuff. When you had a righteous king come along, the priests were put back to work and went out and talked to people. So if you go out and you send the priests out to teach the people won't be sacrificing in high places. You see, but when an unrighteous king was along, they didn't send the priest out to go teach the people about the law. And that's why people were all out there, they didn't have like the internet and stuff back then. So you literally had to send the priests out to go teach the people. Just like, how your house shall send his people out. The people had to be taught. But when an unrighteous king came along, the people weren't learning. So the people, what did they do? They worshiped God, the Most High, how they thought they could, or their own way. And so that's how another reason you know an unrighteous king was there, because people were just doing what they thought in their own eyes, and they, then that's when they mix that's when you got the Baal worship and worship of all these other things, because people were just doing what they thought was right, or just going after other gods. And that's another thing. A righteous king would always send the priest out to teach the people, so the people knew the law. Because you got to remember, people were only coming up to Jerusalem, 3 times a year. So those are other times a year, you still had to be taught. You couldn't be just taught 3 times a year. And that's why the priests were out there teaching people. And then they would come to Jerusalem and hear the law. Right? The 3 times. That's who knows that? When was the 3 times they would come up and hear the law? I know everybody knows that. Somebody want to tell me?
Yeah, so you got it.
Right. Go ahead, slide that. So, right, the Passover time of unleavened bread, that's 1 season.
The high holidays?
Pretty much the high holidays. You had the Passover season, unleavened bread. You had like the Feast of Weeks season, first fruit season. And then you had the Feast of Tabernacles season, which includes trumpets, atonement. But those are the 3 seasons where they were all come together. But other times of year, the priests had to go out and actually teach, or the Levites had to go out and actually teach the people. Because if not, that's why they're getting all these sacrifices in these high places. people do what they want. Like I said, they didn't have the technology we have, but they could tune in.
Right.
Okay. I'm out of here.
La Yasha Allah.
Right. This is for everybody. Imanium, which means to stand. Wakwanya, Hakwadam, which means rise and face the east. We're going to read the Lord's Prayer in the Hebrew and then in the English. The Lord's Prayer. Abanaw.
Abanaw.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Shabbat Shemayim.
Wadash.
Wadash.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Shamkan.
Shamkan.
Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Malak Raskah.
Malak Raskah.
Ba'ah. Tzadika.
Tzadika.
Hayah.
Hayah.
Isha. Arakasa.
Arakasa.
Hayah. Shemayim.
Shemayim.
The thunder now. The come. Call. The walk. What's locked now?
What's locked now?
Come walk now.
Walk now.
Come lock now.
That's locked now.
Come walk now.
Walk now.
Well, your eye now.
Of your eye now.
What is say you want?
What is say you want?
A ball.
Ball.
A shine now.
A shine now.
A gun.
A gun.
Rod.
Rod.
A yard.
A yard.
A car.
A car.
I'm a lock.
I'm a lock.
A olive.
A olive.
A pop rod.
A pop rod.
I'm out of one. I'm on.
And in the English, our Father,
Our Father,
which art in heaven,
which art in heaven,
hallowed be thy name.
hallowed be thy name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy kingdom come.
thy will be done.
Thy will be done.
In earth,
In earth,
as it is in
as it is in
heaven.
heaven.
Give us this day,
Give us this day
our daily bread.
our daily bread.
And forgive us our debts,
Forgive us our debts.
as we forgive our debtors.
As we forgive our debtors.
And lead us not
And lead us not
into temptation,
into temptation,
but deliver us
but deliver us
from evil.
from evil.
For thine is the kingdom,
For thine is the kingdom,
and the power,
and the power,
and the glory,
and the glory,
forever,
forever.
so be it.
So be it.
Men of Israel, gird up thy loins and prepare to salute the Torah. But Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shabrak Yah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Yah.
Power. Hashem. Yahusha. Rakiyah. Yahweh Hashem Yahusha Rakiyah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahusha Rakiyah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahusha Barakah.
this concludes the Sabbath service. We're going to give men of Israel. I'm going to slide.
Men of Israel, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Men of Israel, Imam Shabbat, Imanium, Barak,
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakatah.
Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, Yahweh Hashem Yahushua Barakathum. Barakathum.
No, you're right.
Barakathum.
Yabba Matah, class dismissed.
Well, that's your traditional, Sabbath service. We do it every
2 weeks at a time.